Hi ladies and gentlemen, thank you and welcome to my channel once again. My name is Sola John and I hope you've been enjoying the videos we've been posting. If you have, please just click on that red button to subscribe so that you can have access to more of our videos. This channel is to talk about life, is to talk about living, is to talk about loving, to talk about things that has to do with you, that can make you a better person, that can make you enjoy your life maximally. So today what are we talking about? I'd like to talk about what I consider the power of a book. I tell you the power of a book. Each time we talk about books, I know what comes to mind of some people. Oh, school again. Oh, reading again. Now today I'm talking about books. Another time I'm going to talk about the power of your mind. But let me talk about the power of a book. A book is that printed page that has gone through a process of editing. It's a thought of somebody that was written down, typed, gone through the process of editing and comes out in a form of what I hold, or maybe another, or maybe another. Okay, so there are different kind of books. Books come and the writers are often called authors. But every book has an idea, has a thought, has a philosophy, has a logic, has something to pass across. Why do people write books? Books are written to spread ideas. Books are written to teach what is not known. Books are written to spread information. Okay? Now, when we talk about books, it's a major source of learning. I told you about the mind. The mind is that part of you that deals with your intellect, with your will, that part of you that wants to know something. Okay, the food the mind eats, okay, is information. And oftentimes they come through books. Books are a traditional way of spreading knowledge and information. Now, there are three books that changed the course of mankind. Before, in the past, okay, during the church era, when the church was in charge, okay, it was believed that everything has to do with God. Not much attention was paid to the human intellect. Then some people began to ask questions, and so they wrote books, and their books changed the course of history. And after that, we got into a period we call the Renaissance period, where people began to place so much attention to human intellect and ability. What are those three books? One of them is The Life of Christ. It was written by Joseph Reynard. Began to talk about Christ, but didn't talk about Christ. He stripped Christ of his divinity and presented him like a man. Another book is the Critique of Political Economy by Karl Marx. Okay. Then the third book is The Origin of Species by Charles Darwin. Some of you may have come across these books, okay, or you may have heard about them. If you have not heard about them, or you have not come across them, I'd like you to know that they have shaped your thoughts today. Your freedom of expression today are as a result of some of these books. Okay, the fact that you ask some questions today, nobody kills you, is as a result of some of these books. So book, they almost change the whole world, the mindset of people. But that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about today is how books can literally change your life, how book can transform you. So when an author writes a book, they write from their experiences, and the experiences that they are writing from, sometimes they are painful experiences, sometimes they are deep studies, they are researches they have carried out for years. Then they package it in a small book and they sell it to you. Whatever price they sell it, take it from me, is cheap enough. Okay. Some of those researches took them years. You may not have been able to survive to do those researches in those years. Okay, so whatever price they are selling any book, it is cheap enough. It is the simplest form of learning, or ways of learning wisdom and of gathering information and knowledge. So I want you to understand that reading is to your mind what food is to your stomach, okay, to your tummy. Because when you eat, you are healthy. When you read, your mind is healthy. The mind is such a powerful operating system that God has given to human beings that when it is left fallow, it's often said that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. okay? But it's worse than the devil's workshop, okay? It's the devil's throne, okay? It's the devil's kingdom, it's the devil's domain. Thoughts comes to your mind. So instead of thoughts to come into your mind and to destabilize you, a wise man, Solomon, once said that anybody who has no control over his mind, his spirit, is like a broken garden. All kinds of animals will enter into it. Instead of all kinds of thoughts to come in, why don't you pick a good book? Book that tailors your mind towards what you want to see, that tailors your mind towards where you want to go in life, that tailors your mind towards ideas and ideals that you desire. Books that changes your perception. Somebody may ask me, where do I begin from? Oh, just start from where you are. Start by borrowing books from people. First, what kind of book do you want to read? What do you want to know better? What knowledge, what information do you want to be exposed to? How do you want to think? Shape your life by the way you think. Book has the capacity and the power to transform you. If you have access to quality books and you read them and you take action on the things that you learn from them, those who know you now, in 5 years, they will see a different person. In 10 years, they will see a different person. Where you said to me, I don't like reading. Well, I want to ask you, do you really like eating? I know people who don't like eating. Well, even if you like eating, do you like eating certain foods until you had health crisis? And then the doctor insists that you must do more of sugar, you must do less of sugar, you must do more of salt, you must do less of salt, you must do more of vegetable. Some people don't like it, okay? Because they just don't like it. It's like hard labor for them. Same thing also with book. It may look like medicine to you, okay, like medication that you are taking. However, your mind needs that medication to be fresh, to be sound, and to be focused, okay? So borrow from people, borrow books, tell them to lend you. When you learn from them, you read it. Write down your action point, write down your learnings, okay? And let it shape and transform your mind. Then once you begin to have money, start building library. I remember I started building my library at about the age of 17. I just love reading because I lived with a brother who had very big library, okay? So I had access to a lot of his books. Till date, one of my most precious, treasured possessions and properties, they are books, and they are also my temptation, okay? The time will come, I'm going to do some book reviews, okay, on this channel that I've read. But you just need to understand that reading has a way of transforming you. Let me tell you one of the books I read. I read a book by John Maxwell many years ago, Failing Forward, that is the title. I was going through a lot of failure then. I think I read it about 22 years ago. I was really going through a lot of failure. I bought the book, I can't remember how much. When I was done with the book, something changed about me. I saw failure from a different perspective. I think I've done a video on managing failure. Check on the channel, you're going to see it and listen to it. I began to see failure from a different perspective. So Failing Forward, a book by John Maxwell, it changed my thinking. And ever since I read the book, I began to see failure from a different perspective. I began to appreciate failure. I began to evaluate failure, okay? Have I stopped failing? No, I still fail. But guess what? The failure of last year is not the failure of this year. And I can tell you the failure of this year is not going to be the failure of next year. You know why? Because I understand that failure is a learning process. And if I still want to do a thing and I fail in it, I'm going to evaluate my failure. What did I not do right? And I'll get back to it. How did I get to have a change of mind? Because I read a book that says I can fail forward. I've read many other books. As I talk to you, I am still reading, okay? I keep reading, and the more I read, the more I just discover I don't know anything. And I want to know more, okay? I have them in hard copies. I have them in soft copies. Because I put a desire into reading. So what did I do? I began to put value into it. What did I do? I began to buy books, okay? So when you have the need to read books, you can start out by borrowing, by lending from people. But you don't stop at that. You begin to spend your money on books, quality books, okay? You begin to access authors. You begin to access the world of other people, their ideas and ideals, their modes, their culture, okay? Through books, you can travel the world through books, okay? Read about culture of different countries through books. it was I think it was Mark Twain that says that the world is like a book, and he who did not travel has read like a page. Okay, so you need to understand that reading exposes you to other cultures. Okay, so you are able to put yourself into other people's situation, their culture, their environment, and appreciate who they are and what they stand for. I want you to know that reading is not labor. Even if it is, you are laboring for something that is better. Sometimes the information you have been asking, looking for who is going to help you, they're in a book somewhere. You just need to find the book. When you find the book, read the book. When you read the book, take action from the book so that you become a better person. Please, from today, I want it to be a goal for you. Okay, it could be once in a month. It could be it could be one book in a month. It could be one book in a week, depending on the time and the availability you have. Make sure you are feeding your mind with something that is sound. I remember a young man came to meet me some years ago, and he said, I want you to mentor me. I said, are you sure? And he said, yes. When he was leaving, I gave him a book. The title of the book, I think, is Who Moved My Cheese? And I said, you go read this book, okay? If you are going to be around me, you've got to be someone that is willing to learn. And one of the ways you can learn is by reading. And recently he was chatting me up, and he was like, sir, thank you so much. Thank you so much. After reading that book, I couldn't stop reading. I continue reading because you told me I need to read. These days when I hear people talk, I smile because some of the things they are saying, I've read it, you know, and I'm not like as ignorant as I used to be. Now I can't but just be buying books, and I'm reading books. And I'm glad because I know when I met him, I know where he was working. Now he's got a better offer. He's in a different state, he's in a different city, okay? He thinks differently, okay? He doesn't talk the way he used to talk initially when I met him. Something changed in him. I didn't change him, okay? Books did. Good books did. Now, there are bad books outside there too. Be careful with them, okay? Be careful. Don't read bad books. Don't read books that bring bad dreams to you, that bring confusion to you, that make you want to go and try something bad, something evil. However, get good books. There are many I could recommend, but not today. And at another time, we do that. Until I come your way next time, keep learning, keep reading, keep investing in your mind. Your mind is one of the best resources that God has given to you. And you must maximize it. You must take care of it. You must tend it until you become all that God has created you to be. Thank you, and bye. Welcome to careerwise.ng, your career solution site. What we do basically is provide assessment for you, coaching for you, recruitment, internship. We have coaches. Orlando is a coach from Brazil, he's an international coach. Lara Langham from UK, my humble self, and we have some other coaches from Nigeria. You can go on our website, careerwise.ng, use the contact form and reach out to us. Meet us on Twitter, we are careerwiseng1. Instagram, we are on Facebook. Reach out to us, we are available to help you.